Good evening. Welcome to the April 27, 2015 meeting of the Wakefield Board of Selectmen. I'd like to start. We did have a possibility that we're going to go into executive session. There was no motion to do so, so we didn't do that tonight. And so we will move on to the approval of our minutes. We have 4 sets of minutes that need approval. First one is our regular board minutes from April 6th.
Motion to accept.
Move to accept by Paul, seconded by
Second.
Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
May I abstain?
Yes. Everybody but Betsy who abstained. Executive minutes from April 6th. All in favor, or excuse me, I get a
So
motion to
moved.
approve.
Second.
Paul, seconded by Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstention by Ms. Sharon. Regular minutes from our April 13th meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Paul, seconded by Ann. All in favor of approving those minutes?
Aye.
All right, and the executive meeting
Abstain.
minutes, abstention by Betsy. And the executive meeting minutes from April 13th.
So moved.
Second.
Paul, Ann, all in favor?
Aye.
Betsy abstains.
Right.
All right. Public participation. I have one person on the list. Is that?
You do.
That's all there is. Public participation, Mr. Bruno from 2 Mackenzie Lane. Come on up.
All right, thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. Good evening, Board of Selectmen. I'm Pat Bruno from 2 Mackenzie Lane. Thank you for having me here this evening. And I just wanted to address one small matter revolving around the Zoning Board of Appeals hearing of the Brightview proposal for Crescent Street. And specifically, it revolves around the water and storage in the stormwater runoff. And my concern is, thank you. And my concern is that in this particular instance, understanding that there is a storage easement that runs directly through the property, smack dab through the middle of the property, and runs about 16 feet deep, that storage easement does connect to the storage line that runs from the corner of Lowell Street and Main Street all the way down Main Street, and as far from Pleasant Street down those ladder streets between Pleasant Street and Main Street. However, my concern is the review of the engineering plans that are proposed by the proponent of the plan, Brightview. And originally, those engineering plans were filed on September 9th. They were sent back for review because of some errors and irregularities in the plan. And those plans were sent back by Mike Collins, who happens to be a very talented professional engineer with a great background, having worked in many, many different jobs, consulting, as well as having been part of the cleanup of the Boston Harbor cleanup going back to Judge Garrity. Having said that, I was with Mike Collins the other night when he gave a presentation, no discussion about the Brightview proposal, none whatsoever. And I just, listening to him, understand that he is obviously not just educated in terms of professional engineering, he has a varied background from his consulting years. Having said that, I understand that currently it's Rick Stinson, who's the superintendent or the director of the DPW, who is now working directly with Brightview development team in reviewing those particular plans. I understand that Mike, from talking with Rick Stinson, Mike is going to review calculations. However, I thought that it would be important for Mike to attend the meetings where the ZBA have their hands, obviously, and there's a big challenge in terms of just zoning, let alone just understanding some of the engineering aspects. And obviously, when I think about a proponent obviously has these paid consultants working for them, not necessarily working for the town. And I think it's important to have our best talent available for any questions that come up at those meetings. So I'm just making that proposal to the folks who are here this evening. I don't know if there's anything that the Board of Selectmen administrator or even if town council has to get involved, but I would think it'd be most important to have the best talent representing the community, the town of Wakefield, and the residents of the town of Wakefield. And I'd like to just make that point. And if there's anything you want to catch up on with me, you have my phone number, and please feel free to reach out.
Great. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, next item on the agenda are personnel and appointments. We have a number of appointments to do. They're all from May 1st is the term, 2015 through April 30th, 2017, two-year appointments. So the first one is the Advisory Board of Public Works. There's one opening, and we have one candidate, Chris Fowley. Can I get a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Paul, second by Betsy. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next one, appointment to the Lucius Beebe Memorial Library Trustee.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Is that
that's going to
tabled
be
this
tabled.
evening?
Yeah,
Okay,
to our next meeting.
okay, great.
The library one is tabled.
Yes.
Okay. Historical Commission, there's one person there, Francine Harrington. Can I get a motion to
So moved, Mr.
approve the
Chairman.
appointment? Moved by
Second.
Betsy, second by Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then we have four slots and four nominees for the Recreation Commission. Dan Crowley, Chris Gargano, Joe Tringali, and Tony Longo. Can I get a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move that we appoint all four.
Great.
Seconded.
Second by Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Conservation Commission, appointment of Peter Miller. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Betsy, second by Paul. All in favor? All right. Capital Planning, Frank Leone and Sean Margerison. They're the two candidates for two spots.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Paul, second by Betsy. All in favor?
Aye.
CATV Advisory Committee, Dan Lieber is the only nominee for one spot.
So
Can I get a
moved.
motion? Paul?
Second.
Seconded by Betsy. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next one is the Council on Aging. Here we have one appointment, and we have three candidates. Leonard, is it Malvone? Kathy Byrne, and Judy Carmelia.
Mr. Chairman, through you to the town administrator, was there a recommendation from Ms. Luciano?
Yes, and that would be to retain Judy Camellia, who is currently on the board.
I move approval to Ms. Judith Camellia.
Phyllis.
Second.
All right, moved by Pat, second by Betsy. There was a motion to speak.
Yes. The only committee that we have in town that has term limits is the Council of Aging. And Judith Camellia has been on there just for the 1 year, just getting
One
to know
term.
what's
One
going
term,
on.
yeah.
And I think, it would be good for us to just bring her back. I think she'd be good because this will be the last time that she will be no longer, which I think
Right.
is great. They've done a great job with that.
Right,
Yeah.
great, super.
And if I might, Mr. Chairman, those are self-imposed term limits.
Yeah.
That board themselves decided that that's what they wanted to do.
Right, right. Great. All right, well, there's a motion on the floor to approve that Judith's nomination, and you've spoken in favor of it, so I think if there's no other discussion, we'll take a vote on that. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously. The next one is the Cultural Council. We have two slots, and we have three folks who are interested.
Question.
Anne Emery Gallivan, Mary Taggart, and Kelly, is it Parisi?
Parisi.
So I would need a motion to appoint either, any one of them or any two of them at this point.
Mr. Chairman, through you again, may I ask, was there a recommendation, Mr. Mayo?
There was no recommendation.
I guess my next question will be I should make a motion and then discuss it. No, I'm going to flip that.
Go ahead. I'm happy to have the comment.
I would love to, we have so few people, as qualified as they may be, but when we have more than what we need, I hate to turn one person down when there's three, and only two can be appointed. And I'd love to think that someone could either be an associate member or expand the council. I mean, I just hate to see somebody be turned away. I truly
Right.
do. People, we can only appoint one, that's a whole different story, but there's something about excluding one person that really bothers me. I don't think it's quite fair. If they took the time to send in a resume and they're there. So is there a reason that we cannot have three, Mr. Mayo?
I don't know offhand if there's a charter requirement of how many members are up of that council. Town Council Mullen is not here. I imagine that there is no harm done Or it's de minimis if you wanted to appoint all three. It's not like it's
Yeah.
an adjudicatory board.
Well, this
How
is
about
what I'm
we,
saying.
well, but we make a motion to appoint all three, and if we acted outside the scope of our authority, then we'll just have to redress it.
I would like
It's a
to make
great
that
solution.
motion to appoint all three.
Before you do that.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Young lady to your right would like to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have these, are two of these people already on this board, and this is, are they already on the board?
One's already on.
Only one, yeah.
The only one on the board?
Is Ms. Parisi.
Kelly Parisi.
Yes, board usually has what, two?
No, they have like 10 plus members.
These are just the
Pretty
open
large
seats.
board.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other two own cultural businesses
Right.
in town.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So I think it would be wonderful
Yeah.
to appoint all three.
Yeah.
You know, I
Great idea.
just feel like so many times we say to people, we encourage them, please send your resume. And then you find out as you go through the years that the new people coming in, they're either stuck as an associate or they don't get appointed, and the same people are on there all the time. And
Right.
so this is why I look forward to bringing some new people on the board.
Yep. I can only imagine that all of the interest we have here is a result of your, your rule that we post these things, and it's not done
Yeah,
under
and that's
the
what
cover of
makes it
darkness
good,
anymore,
right.
so.
I'll go
That's
back
great.
to my original motion that we appoint all three, because I firmly believe that we have to have continuity in these committees as well.
Yes.
We just can't
Second that
wipe out
motion.
a committee off the street.
Absolutely.
So I'll make the motion to appoint all three.
Second that.
Moved by Betsy, second
Thanks.
by Pat. Is there any more discussion? We're good to roll? It was a great idea, and all in favor?
Aye.
Great. The next one is Zoning Board of Appeals. There were two nominees, or two candidates for that, Peter Davis and Charles Tarbell. So there was an amended agenda if somebody had the wrong one, but there's two folks there. Yes? Go ahead, Phil.
Again, what I want to say is, I looked at Peter Davis's resume, and it's really wonderful, it's good, and he would be good on that. However, I think this board really needs to keep Mr. Tarbell on this board.
Right.
I mean, there are other people on the board that have been on there for years and years and years, and I think maybe next year there's some that are, and maybe Mr. Davis could come back, because his resume is wonderful, but I think it's very important for us, because of the background and the work that he's done, that we keep Mr. Tarbell on this board.
Great.
May I
Pat?
speak, sir? I had the pleasure of serving with Chip, and I'll echo Phyllis's comments. Chip is, his volunteerism goes way beyond the zoning board. He's a huge value to the town. His input on the Galvin Middle School is invaluable. So I'm going to proudly vote in favor of Mr. Tarbell.
I'd like to make the motion to reappoint Mr. Tarbell to the Board of Appeals.
Second.
All right, moved by Betsy, second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And for Mr. Davis, if you're here or out there watching, make a quick trip into Mr. Mayo's office and find out what else is out there, because we'd love to have, as has been said here, we'd love to have great new blood and smart people step up to help out, and we don't like turning people away. So thank you for your interest. Apologies that, given the circumstances, it's Mr. Tarbell's seat you were perhaps looking for. Hopefully we can find another way to get you involved and get you involved in the town, so thank you. Next one is Permanent Building Committee. We have 4 open spots, and we have 4 candidates, Chris Callanan, James Lappery, Joseph Bertrand, and Lisa Butler. Can I get a motion?
So
to-
move, Mr. Chairman, to appoint all 4 as presented.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. And this last one is an appointment of a teller in precinct 2. Change here from all the rest is that this appointment is just until August 31st in 2015, just, I guess, finishing a term, and then there'd be a reappointment at that time. So for now, there's a candidate, Richard Pearson, and I'd like to get a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate Mr. Pearson for reappointment.
And I'll gladly second that.
Okay. Moved by Pat, second by Paul. I think it's appointment, not reappointment, right? Someday in the future,
Sorry,
maybe we'll do a
appointment.
reappointment, but yes.
No, I amend my motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not voting.
Really?
Is that a no vote? Or
That is
an
a no
Just 'cause
vote?
he- is it 'cause he
Oh, it's
said it wrong?
abstention.
It's an abstention so I can get back in the house.
Locks will be changed when you
Oh,
get home.
like that. Oh, Jesus.
Where
in
is
favor?
he here? It's like I saw him in
He
the
was
hall.
here.
No, we just voted, didn't we? All right. Next item up for bids is public hearing, but we need to wait, I believe, until 7:45, because that's what it's scheduled for. So we will, for the folks that are here for the public hearing, it will be at 7:45. We'll start the first one. Joint meeting with the Board of Library Trustees. This is what has been tabled. to a
Till
future
May
meeting.
13th, yep.
Okay. Ryan McLean, we have a Purple Heart presentation. Come on up, Ryan.
I guess maybe Ryan's not, is Ryan not here?
He's walking
okay.
towards us.
There he is.
There he is.
Good timing. You're up. Come on up, gentlemen.
You want to go first?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Joined here by the Military Order of the Purple Heart. A representative, if you just want to introduce yourselves for the board.
My name is Phil Sandin, and I'm from Salem, Massachusetts, and I'm a member of the Purple Heart, Chapter 240, General George Patton, which we meet in Beverly. And I'd like to give a little history of the Purple Heart Medal, if I may. You want to introduce yourself first?
Sure. My name is Wayne Henry, and I'm from Waltham, and I am also a member of the same chapter that Phil is, 240, and very happy to be here.
Great.
So
Thank you.
just locally, through our VSO here in Wakefield, Alicia Redden, who's with us, also Rick Pearson and Dan Benjamin from the Wakefield Veterans Advisory Board, sort of put in all the effort for this. And the idea here is to make Wakefield our community, recognizing that we have many who receive the Purple Heart in this community for their service to the nation, and also to join other cities and towns around the Commonwealth who are making this commitment. So these gentlemen are here to explain that, and we'll also be doing this again on Memorial Day, where we will unveil some signs and some local plans to sort of promote this idea and make it as nice as possible. So.
I'd like to give you a little history of the medal itself.
Please.
The original Purple Heart Medal was designated as it was called the Badge of Military Merit. It wasn't called the Purple Heart as it is now. It was established by then General George Washington. He was the commander of the Continental Army. He was a general, and it was established in Newburgh, New York, in 1782. On April, which is Purple Heart Day presently, as we celebrate that each year. When the medal was established, there was a logbook for names of the members that were awarded the badge of merit, and the book was somehow got lost, and they only have 3 known members now. There are 2 from Connecticut and 1 from I believe it's Vermont, and those are the only actual names that they have. But the book has never been found. So the medal originally was a cloth medal in the shape of the heart, but it was sewn onto the soldier's shirt, and it allowed him to pass sentinels without using the password. He was awarded that privilege. Without knowing the password, he could walk by the sentinels. The medal lost favor, and it was kind of revived back in 1932 in the form it is now, the medal with the George Washington affixed to the front. Some of the notables that have received the medal are John F. Kennedy, our president, Douglas MacArthur, 5-star general, Colin Powell, general chief of staff, Audie Murphy, World War II, the most highly decorated veteran of World War II. Rocky Blyer, former Pittsburgh Steeler player. And Warren Spawn from the Milwaukee Braves. In November of 2012, Route 128 in Gloucester Extension was designated the Purple Heart Highway. Signs, if you go into Rockport from 128 Extension, you'll see the two signs on the highway. And there are 70 communities presently that are Purple Heart communities or towns. We just did Boston last week. Mayor Walsh was there, and it was pretty good at City Hall Plaza. So we're moving along at a pretty good pace, and we're hoping to get as many communities in the Commonwealth as we can. So that's basically where we're at now. And I was quite impressed by Mr. Benjamin telling me this evening before the meeting that every street sign will have a Purple Heart logo on it. That's really patriotic. That says a lot about Wakefield. I believe it's the only community that has done that, as far as I know. So I was quite impressed with that gesture. That's really good. So I'm proud to be here and to represent the Purple Heart, and I'm proud that the Wenham has supported their veterans so strongly.
Great. Thank you.
You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Are they done?
I think
Would you guys like to?
Yeah. We'd like to present this to the town selectmen and the town manager. Can we get a few pictures, please?
Sure. We all do it, or?
That'd be okay?
Usually we go around the front of the table.
Yeah, go for the picture. Okay. This is a big fan.
I didn't want to take too much of your time.
Oh, we're not going anywhere.
I didn't want to take too much of your time.
I'm happy to hold this because I'd like you to know that
Everybody's got to get in here.
my brother was in the invasion of Normandy and he received the Purple
Nice.
Heart.
That's great.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yeah.
On three, 1, 2, and 3. We'll take another one. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm gonna take one using another camera.
These lights get hot, huh?
Like,
Great, thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Just one select.
Yeah.
Empty these on the street.
That's all right.
Oh, good.
Wherever you want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the job.
We have lots of viewers on that.
Thank you so much. Nice job.
Listen, exactly. Well, you know how, how emotional. You know your dollar was.
Just by the way,
I know,
I
yeah.
forgot
I
to
also
show
have
you,
something
this
I'll
is
show
the-
you
this
in
is
my
the one in Gloucester.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
one in Gloucester.
Thank you. Just shove. I
right.
understand. There we go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My brother
I know.
was burned very badly in the invasion.
I know.
Next item is request from Sharon Gilly, Director of the Library, to donate library discards to the Friends of the Library. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
By
Second.
Pat, second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is, let's see, it's skateboard park, but by Chip, but I think, is that a little longer presentation, or is that or not?
It can be as long as you want it to be.
5 minutes?
2 minutes, and, no. All right, Chip, come on up. We have a hearing in 8 minutes.
Won't take that long.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here on behalf of the Permanent Building Committee, representing the Galvin Middle School, to give you a quick update on that project and where we stand. As many of you know, we're heading down the stretch to completion. We hope to have the project finished by June 15th. That's the date that's on the contract to have it finished by, and at this point, we believe we are on schedule. One of the things that has happened project is that we've had an ability come up to include a skateboard park as part of the project at basically within the budget of the project. And it happened fairly quickly this spring, where we had some material that needed to be hauled off the site. We were able to save it, keep it on the site, not spend that money, and to put that money towards a skateboard park. It has been approved by Concom as a de minimis change. It's been approved by the ZBA as a de minimis change. And I come tonight to talk to you guys about it, just to make you aware of what's happening and get your input, or I think more than anything, just to make you aware of the situation. The skateboard park will go at the far corner of the project, which is, if you may, directly on it. As you know, there's been a skateboard park at the Galvin previously that didn't go so well. But there are now no neighbors. Unless Jiffy Lube complains, we'll be, I think, or Kytron, I think we'll be okay.
And the dogs that live in the Kytron property.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah, yes.
So it's in that corner. It's along Main Street. It's next to what will also be 2 basketball courts and a small field that will be part of the Galvin prior to the Galvin main entrance. It will be well lit, and with it being on Main Street and in that area, there'll be a lot of passive supervision. There'll be the ability to just watch what's going on there will be incredible. And it will also fill a need that the town has talked about for years. You know, we've tried to do it in a number of different places. It will be built out of concrete, so there'll be some sustainability to it. And I think it will be a nice addition to that entire project. I don't know if you
I think
put a
this
package.
came from the school department, really
The
requested this.
push came from the school department and from the recreation department. You know, there's a need for kids that don't play soccer, don't play Pop Warner, that do skateboard. I mean, it is a recreational activity. We see it everywhere. We also reached out and talked to the kids downtown and said, if it was here, would you go? And they said, yeah, you know, it's not too far. We can, it's, you know, not out at Sullivan. It's not out anywhere, and they tend to gravitate already to that kind of plaza in front of the Galvin as well.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm 100% in favor of this, and I think it's good that both the school department and the builders have come up with this idea. It's a great idea, and I know, for one, having 3 kids grow up in this town, the kids are forever being told, don't go here, don't go here, don't go here. I mean, the kids who want to skateboard, where do they go? They're going to go where they can go and where there's berms and places for them to. So at least now, if we tell them, get off the front of the library steps or get off wherever you are, we can tell them, you know, you have a place you can go now, and you know, it'll be challenging enough for these kids to go down there and use their skateboards, and this is what we should be doing for our kids. So finding things for them to do and not telling them what they can't do.
Great. Phyllis?
I don't know if you realize or not, but I was very heavily involved in the first skateboard park, which was a disaster. An absolute disaster. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars. We did everything for the kids. Supposed to go, shut the gates, do everything. We brought a brand new skateboard and stuck it down in the dump, and that's where it ended up. And who's going to supervise this skateboard, and who's going to take care of it? And when the kids get out of hand, what are they, because that's what they did. What is going to happen here? who's responsible for this skateboard? I know it's built differently, it's on cement, but I'll tell you, it was not a good thing for the town the first time around.
As far as who supervises it, you know, I think like any park in town, it's self-supervised, you know, whether they go play basketball, whether they go play whatever. But previously, I would agree with you that it was behind the school, and it was in an area that didn't have passive supervision. On Main Street, you know, quite frankly, the police go by four corners on an hourly basis. You know, I think they'll be, if anybody puts a call in, if anybody has issues, you know, that's how it will be supervised, as is every park in town.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I'm hoping that the youth will take care of it and appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I just have one quick question. Chip, what about liability if a kid should break his arm or her arm or whatever?
No different than liability of them playing basketball at JJ Round.
On a pickup
Same-
game or
same-
whatever it would be,
Same
yeah.
exact
Yep.
liability.
Okay, yeah. And it's gonna be well lit just because of the fact of the location.
Well, and it has lights.
Right.
And the two basketball courts that will be made. So in this area, there'll be a small field, two basketball courts, and the skate park court.
And Main
right
Street.
along Main Street. So it's gonna be a great spot, I hope, that has tons of activity. I mean, I hope they take care of it. I hope I hope it goes well. And the longevity of it will be it's entirely concrete.
Yeah. I look forward to the ability to tell kids, move along from downtown, and having provided them a place to go.
Exactly, that's right.
Just makes us, you know, not bullies or, you know, the man keeping them down. It's hey, we built you a skateboard park, go down the street. I think it will help out everything downtown. It's so consistent with a lot of things we're doing, so.
Is it gonna be closed at a certain time at night, or?
The lights will go off, as do they at basketball courts
Yeah,
and
they'll
everything
go
else.
off, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this is long overdue. I mean, we've been talking about this for 15 years or more that I know of. Right now, we've had multiple committees, but I'm all in favor of this. I echo the same sentiments as Mr. Glenn did. I think this is a good thing for the kids.
Well,
I
good thing
hate
we're
to-
all in favor of it, because we have no power to say no, so.
Right. Right. Thank you.
You good? Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion
Oh.
with apologies to Chip
Hold on a
Dowdell.
minute, so we're all set. You're good? Anything else, Dan? All right.
Nope, that's it.
Thank you, Chip.
Thank you very much, Chip.
Appreciate it. Betsy, would you like to speak?
I'd like to make a motion that we enter into the scheduled public hearing for 7:45 for D&M Liquor Corporation, DBA S&M Liquors for a package store license.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Pat. We need a roll call to do that, I believe, right?
Yes.
Phyllis? Betsy?
Yes.
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 And yes. So, come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Greg DeMarcus. I'm an attorney in Lynn, and with me today are Rakesh Patel and Rajesh Patel. They're the two owners of D&M Liquor Corp. They've entered into a purchase and sale agreement to purchase S&M Liquors on Water Street, and Dan D'Onofrio, the seller, is here as well. These gentlemen are very, very experienced operators. I think Rakesh Patel has an interest in 3 liquor stores. He's had operated liquor stores for 14 years or 15 years. Same thing for Rajesh Patel. I think it goes back a little longer. Kailash Patel, Rakesh's wife, has been at Glendale Liquor Store in Everett for 14 years. And I think in the 42 years cumulative experience, there hasn't been any suspensions or revocations or anything on their licenses. They're very, very experienced, savvy operators. They're gonna run a good store, just like Mr. D'Onofrio did. In order to acquire this business, they're going to borrow money from Rockland Trust Company. And Rockland Trust Company has asked that we pledge of the license and the inventory, so their loan can be secured with that. We've entered into an amendment and assignment of the lease with the landlord, Confalone Realty Trust.
And so that's in the package as well. The funds are gonna come from the bank accounts of these gentlemen and their wives, and also from the bank. And we've given you a commitment letter from the bank and in the bank statement showing where the source of funds are coming from. I have the tear sheet from the paper. You want that?
Great, thank you.
And I've got a copy of the white slips and the letters that went out to their butters, but I couldn't find the green cards, but I'll get those too. So we're here to answer any questions. These are the two owners. Rakesh has 75% ownership interest. Brajesh has a 25% ownership interest. Run it, there'll be a credit to the community, they're tip certified. And like I said, a very experienced operator.
Mr. Chairman, is
questions? Go
is
ahead.
this a transfer of a license or a new license?
It's a new license. We
New
don't,
license.
we just issued a new license.
Just to get it out onto the table, I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal this evening for D&M Liquor Corporation, DBA, doing business as S&M Liquor Store,
I'll second that.
just to get
Okay.
it out there for any
Sure,
discussion.
motion on the table of discussion.
Yes, could you also put the pledge of the license in that
Oh, yes,
motion?
I'm sorry, add that to my
To
motion.
allow the license to be
Right,
pledged.
to allow the
Okay.
pledge, right.
Okay.
I apologize.
Motion's amended. You speak?
Mr. Mayo, was there another motion we needed to make with regard to?
Yeah, I make that one separately. though.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case.
Make-
Just in case, I make it after that. this one,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yep.
I think that's a separate.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm all set.
Any other comments? We good? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You good?
I'm good, can I just make one comment?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
And I'm saying this on behalf of the town, welcome to Wakefield.
Yeah.
Number one, we expect you to be successful. We also have no tolerance for selling to underage, okay? Just want to be right out of the gate, okay? I don't expect that from any of our establishments in town. Just want you to know that that's something we are very harsh on.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, yes, and you will also need to go to the, we'll work with Sherry in our office. There is a process that there is fingerprinting and everything through the police station. You did that? Okay, great.
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 You know, you seem like reputable and experienced store owners and proprietors, but I'll echo Mr. Mayo's comment. Wakefield is not a big city, it's a small town, so we're very serious about enforcement. And do operating hours change at all, or
It's gonna be from 9 to 11.
9 to 11? And what, is that what's on the license, do you know? I haven't looked.
I don't know.
And Sunday, 10 to 11 Sunday. I've been living in Wakefield for 6 years. I love this community.
Good.
Oh, you live here?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, all right,
All right,
I'm in
Good.
favor. We already voted, right?
we already voted here.
Yes.
Who gets the lounge chair? Because you're partners.
I think he's taking it.
Oh, he's gonna take over there.
Thank you very much.
Food pantry.
I'm trying to
that's,
find the,
recliner.
and-
Oh,
yeah,
one-
thank
Before
you.
you go,
Yeah,
before you
give another
go.
Oh, we need one more motion?
One more.
Another
Right.
motion.
A pledge for the inventory?
No, we
No.
did that already.
All right, we also need a motion that SIBO Cafe LLC.
No.
No,
No.
Porch, look at this one,
Here you go.
7:45. Strings. What should I do now, Sherry?
I can't do that. I can't find that.
No, we need to make a motion that, I request a motion that D&M Liquor Corp., doing business as S&M Liquors, is not detrimental to the educational and spiritual activities of schools or churches within 500 feet of the licensed premises, of which there are. So, can I get that motion, please?
So moved.
second.
All right, moved by Ann, second by Betsy. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right. That is it. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, Dan, too.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
All right, great.
Good luck.
Betsy, you want to get out?
I didn't recognize him standing up. What?
You want to get out? Exit the public hearing.
Yeah, no, I know that, yeah. I'd like to make a motion that we exit the public hearing. Thank you.
Second.
All right, moved by Betsy, second by Pat. All in favor of exiting that public hearing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, unanimous verbal yeses. And now, Betsy, would you like to make another motion?
No.
No.
Actually, Mr.
I'd
Chair,
like to,
she'd
but
like to.
Oh,
we
we have to wait
can't.
8 minutes.
No, but actually,
No.
that one is gonna be postponed.
Right.
So, as well.
All right, next
But-
item up.
So you can go to 6E.
6E.
Do we have to vote to postpone that, or?
We will at 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock we
8
can. God forbid we decided not to take action 8 minutes early.
Always there to protect you, Mr. Chairman.
All good. All right, Ms. Clay, has been waiting patiently. You're up. We're on the Massachusetts School of Professional Psychology interface. Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, did they get these in there?
That's
They did.
yes.
Oh, we did.
Yes, we did.
I'll take a paper copy, just defer paper.
Anyone else need a paper copy?
True.
I have one.
Does this work? Good evening. As most of you know, I'm Catherine Dingra, and I'm our Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition Director. So thank you again for your remarks. A lot of what tonight was actually has a connection to what I'm doing with the skateboard park and the liquor licensing. I'm part of all of that. So I appreciate your positive support of our community. I am here tonight to bring up a program with Jason Levine, who's our head school psychologist at the high school, and at the high school, and he oversees our district-wide behavioral health team, which I've been a part of over the past year. And, you know, in our first year and a half with the Drug-Free Communities Grant, a lot of it is assessment. So assessing with the Youth Risk Behavior Survey, doing a lot of community health assessment, interviews, key stakeholder interviews, looking at community health data. And there's just overwhelming evidence, you know, with public health models, and what we're seeing is the intersection between mental health and substance abuse, and mental health awareness and prevention. And we came across this opportunity when we were hearing from school professionals and community members with the inability to access mental health care, especially with a lot of the school professional staff saying parents are overwhelmed. You know, my interactions with community members, they're also facing difficulties of accessing mental health care. So we found this, Jason actually found the interface program, which you were able to read about. It's an overview. What it does is the town contracts, the town and the schools contract with the interface program for 2 years. And what it does is it enables any parent or citizen of the community to reach out to the interface program. And it's basically like a match service. It, you know, connects them based on what their insurance provider is and based on their needs, does all the legwork for them to match them with a mental health provider. And we're seeing that it often is the biggest barrier to someone reaching, accessing mental health care. It takes a lot of that legwork out for people, which can be very overwhelming to someone that, you know, is in, you know, has, you know, high education level, but in someone that's in a fragile state of mind, it's can be a huge barrier. So what Jason and I have done is done a lot of work talking to other communities that are using this. You see the example of about 15 communities that have had a huge success with, at the cost of $12,000 a year, anyone can call, and parents, I know we're talking to school staff who say they've got, you know, 10, 15 parents right now that would be using this service. So it's a huge need, and we've just heard positive feedback from Newton and Carlisle and a lot of other communities.
Absolutely. Certainly, the way that I had actually begun to hear about the interface program was through members in other school districts talking about, as I had mentioned to some of them, about how one of our biggest difficulties is connecting, and from my position, our students to mental health services. And as we began talking about it, a couple other people in other communities had mentioned, oh, have you guys looked into the interface program at all? Then have been having excellent results with the program. And then I began to talk to our school communities, we began to really see it play out among the professionals, and how it plays out to our families is many families that are reaching out for mental health supports are in dire needs at times, and being able to navigate insurance for one, but then also finding professionals that match their needs and have openings is a real challenge. And so when you put a family who's in these difficult circumstances and you throw up 1, 2, 3 roadblocks to them, never alone, many of them, they weren't having success. This program works to eliminate those obstacles and take them away. They speak with the person calling in of any age. This is not just for students. This transcends the age group in the community. Works with the person, hears their needs, and begins to work with them to match them to a mental health professional that has immediate openings for them.
So let me just, just to take a step back with the context, that mental health, I think nationally, is becoming more and more recognized as an issue for everybody. And there are a lot of different parts of the issue for mental health. The first part is the access. There are other problems that we have, through our health insurance system, whether it's insurance coverage or access to having enough inpatient beds, aftercare, follow-up. But none of that is an issue if you can't access somebody to begin with. And I think the beauty of this program is that it's not, we tend to spend a lot of energy on our youth, as well we should, but this program is for the whole community. So there are a lot of other people in the community that don't have children and aren't connected to the school system, like 80% of the community. And that part of our community is kind of I call them the silent majority. There aren't a lot of services built into our society for people unless you're school age or 60 or over.
Excuse me for 1 minute, I hate to interrupt, but I'd like to make a motion that we postpone the public hearing that was scheduled for 8 o'clock.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Pat. I don't think we need a roll call for that, right? So-
No, it'll be fine. And you're gonna postpone that to, what I suggest, 7:45 on May 13th?
7:45 on May
Okay.
13th, is that what you said,
Fine.
Betsy?
Yes, it is.
You second that, so.
Second.
All in favor of moving it to, postpone it to 7:45 May 13th? Aye.
I apologize, I'm sorry. I apologize,
No,
but
no,
we
it's
had
fine,
to do that.
it's fine, I remember what I was saying, but, yes, so,
Partnering
yes,
with the police.
well, I mean, the police have a very strong program, which is fabulous and innovative and a model throughout the state. And as I said, there are services for people who are older and people who are younger. This also provides services for those of us in between. And I think that's really important for a lot of different kinds of issues that we have in our community, mental health being one of them. It's short money, the $12,000 a year. Catherine made a presentation to the school committee, was it last week or the week before? And they're all on board. We're talking about sharing the cost between the school department and the town side. And I think it's a really good complement to the drug-free community grant that we have. It's a good complement to Riverside that we're fortunate to have in the community, but they can't be everything to everyone. And I'm just so thrilled that Catherine, Jason were able to find this program. I think it will be really a fantastic opportunity for the community.
Great. Comments, Pat?
Yeah, I thank you, folks, for bringing this forward and for what you're doing. I think there's definitely a need, and it bears out in the report that you submitted. I'm looking at some of the statistics, and I'll ask you folks, are these alarming? it looks like Wakefield High School compared to all of the Massachusetts. Now, it says all of Massachusetts. Is that, you don't say whether those are high school students or what?
That's Massachusetts high schools.
So we're higher
Yeah.
in every category that you measure in Massachusetts than, and particularly alarming is students reported they had been bothered by emotional problems quite a lot, such as feeling anxious or depressed during the past 4 weeks. 25% of the students. Is that off the charts alarming, or is?
I think it's concerning, and actually, Dr. Zreich, when he first came here, if you remember, right off the bat said that he felt that mental health was one of the primary issues that he wanted to deal with, especially at the high school. You know, kids can't, I mean, we could have the best teachers and the most fabulous curriculum and brand-new schools, but if the kids aren't in a state to be able to listen and learn, then none of the rest of it matters. So, of course, we're biased because we're from the health department, but if the kids haven't had appropriate food and aren't living in a safe home environment, and don't have tools to manage their stress, then all the other work that the school department is doing is for naught. And we are we are working with the whole community and the school department to provide that foundation so that the school department can be successful in what they're doing. And our numbers are a little concerning. There could be a lot of different reasons. You know, there's a lot of different issues when it comes to data. A lot of other communities have been doing the youth risk behavior surveys for many years. This is relatively recent, so our numbers could be a little higher because it's kind of the first time we've asked the kids about these issues. And, you know, that could be one issue. There's a lot of different reasons why. But, you know, even with our other data, when we looked at Reading, Melrose, Wakefield, because we all donate money to Riverside and we get stats back from them on how many visits our residents get and how many residents see them. Wakefield's numbers are always like double Melrose and Reading's. So it's not an isolated piece of data. It's being backed up by other parts of the data that we're
I don't
collecting.
doubt for a second. I mean, it's alarming, and there just seems to be a lot more pressure on kids today than there was years ago. And whether it's, you know, the access to media or whatever is causing it, I think it's great that you're addressing it. It's great you're identifying it.
You know, it is a high number, especially if unaddressed, where we look at multiple ways to meet our kids' needs, and really the community's needs is really where the numbers begin to sort of bear themselves out, and you get to see growth, real growth with our kids.
Great. We have Ann and then Betsy.
Ruth, when you mentioned, you know, someone might not have enough food or be in an unsafe house, I think these numbers also speak to those of us in the community that live in very safe houses and have food and have wonderful clothes and are still feeling tremendous anxiety and sometimes depression. And I think you're exactly right. The questions haven't been asked. So these are the first time some of these students have articulated what they've been feeling. They've been asked to articulate it. Once they can articulate, once services start rolling, I think we'll see the numbers drop.
And one of the, to point out that this is just one prong of a multifaceted approach. We have speakers. We had a suicide prevention speaker the other night. We had Chris Herron. We see our numbers spike up after those. So the kids are walking out of those presentations and they're getting cards of each mental health counselor. So then they see there are lots of strategies on that we're addressing this. So this is just one asset.
It's a no-brainer.
But I also want to emphasize what you were talking about. The kids are vital, and I'm not minimizing their importance, but I really want us, because I deal with this a lot with housing inspections. You know, don't forget the 30-odd person, the people in their 40s, people in their 50s that also have...
And the elderly.
And the elderly, although, as I said, there are services for elderly, but there really aren't services for those of us in between. And I think that I really like about this is that it's for everybody. And I think that's something we really, really want to advertise in the community, that it's for everybody, no matter what stage of life you're in.
And we'll work to promote this, you know, through our different partners within the community to get the word out.
Do we need any kind of a motion?
No, but that's.
I was just gonna say that I think these issues know no economic, religious, ethnic barrier whatsoever.
Right.
All right? I think the most alarming thing I read, and I did see the chart that Pat was speaking about, was that according to Massachusetts DPH, Department of Public Health, I'm assuming,
Yep.
Wakefield has nearly twice the state suicide average. I mean, this is shocking to me.
Well, it's not shocking when you look at the kids' numbers too.
No, I understand that, but
You see where it's starting.
Yes.
Yeah, I went through the
understand,
death
but
records of the past year.
I think it's money well spent, and I know this is on here, I believe in my.
No.
Well, we're covering it. This year we covered it.
Yes.
This year we
We're
already
covering
have
it
it.
this year, we already
Right.
have it, right.
Right.
But I think those statistics, if
Sorry.
they're being, you know, that's all right, read properly, are staggering. I think it's shocking, but as I said, it covers no economic, as Ann said, it doesn't have to be a house with no food and no, you know, issues. It covers every strata of society. Stratum, I should say, of society, but.
Well, the good thing is the community is acknowledging it.
Well, yeah.
And acknowledging it as an issue and saying that this is an important issue for our community. And we want to provide resources, and not just money, but resources to address the issue. And, you know, it's a chronic disease. So, you know, it's not like getting the flu and you're over it. It's a chronic disease. And so it also takes a long time to address and start seeing some of the numbers improve. But you have to start somewhere, and this is a
When does
great
the
place.
program start? Is it now? Is it on?
No,
We haven't said.
We're waiting for these meetings to take place.
Oh, no, okay.
We hope to
But it
move
will be, it's not a September thing tied to
No.
the school year, it's
No, we can start it.
whenever.
Awesome.
Great, because I think you gotta make sure, I'm sure you're gonna use lots of social media, school communications. Go have a chat with the gentleman at the end of the row over there, and I'm sure he's ready, it's already writing right now, so.
Yep.
That's you. And, you know, those are all great ways to get the message out,
Yeah.
so. I don't know that we need to take a vote on this at this point, it's a presentation, correct?
You could vote in support of the
I mean,
program.
yeah, maybe it's a good move. Phyllis, did you want to speak? Go ahead.
I guess I don't fully understand, maybe I'm a little dense about some of this, but how actually do you handle these problems? What do? Go to the schools, talk to the parents? You have to make it a little more as to how you do this, because I hear all these things, but, and you say all these towns have them, but maybe you can explain to me, if when these problems come up, or children come up, or parents, what do you do? How do you handle it?
Just a referral, I'll let them explain, but it's a referral network, so you can call up and say, I have a problem, and they'll figure out who the best person to connect you with.
Yeah, say
Connect you with a counselor.
someone calls and say, you know, I have Aetna for my health insurance, you know, I'm having extreme anxiety, I, you know, would like to see someone that's within a 10-minute drive of Wakefield, I need someone that has an opening soon. They go and do all that work for you and call you back and said, okay, you know, I found 2 people with openings within the next 2 weeks.
Okay,
Here
so
to-
they call right, okay.
They
I
actually-
didn't
the-
I didn't quite
match you with
understand what I
the
was saying.
mental health
But you
professional.
were talking, I
Phyllis,
thought,
yeah, the alternative is you sit in your house and you say, I wish I had somebody to talk to, and you could start looking at the lists published by your insurance company, or you could start going on the web on your own.
Right.
And for most of us, it would be a first attempt at that stuff, and the idea is here's a place you can call, and they'll just connect you with the right person
Okay.
that fits your
That's
needs,
good.
which is
Okay.
a nice, fast start to people who need help.
I'd like to make a motion that we support this project initiative.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Ann. Beat you to it. All in favor of expressing our support for the program?
Aye.
Aye. It's certainly unanimous. Thank you very much. Great work, all of you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I just jump in?
Sure.
This is part of the group, part of the work that this group has done over the last few years, and collaboration with Melrose and what Ruth has brought to the table, and Catherine, It's just unbelievable where we are, just leave where we were long ago in the health of this community, from restaurant health to mental health to doing things for our students, our young people. And I kind of see them. They have their meetings in town hall, and I see how excited they are
Wednesday
and
nights.
what they're coming up with, and it's just unbelievable. So it's a great job by this group.
Great.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have to
All right.
it's new to me.
I think that is, that is
Yeah.
it for the formal agenda. There's a letter from the State Lottery Commission. We will
All new to me.
just take a quick buzz around the table. Phyllis, I don't see that you have anything typed up tonight, so town council's not here, I'm getting to you.
Okay.
I think Mr. Mayo has something to say.
Just two very quick things. The state is in their,
Papa Mayo.
their state is in their budget process, and I have been, I speak daily with our representative delegation. It's in the House right now, and it will be going to the Senate. But I just want to say that our reps are doing, I think, a great job kind of bringing what they can back for Wakefield. And I do encourage you that when you talk to your representatives, keep pushing those things, keep pushing Chapter 70, Chapter 90, what we need. One thing that we are working on diligently is we have $985,000 in an economic bond bill that would go towards the Main Street revitalization that we've talked about, a refurbishment of Main Street. I'm trying desperately to get the governor here, as well as Jay Ash, to get here to actually, in Wakefield, to have a meet and greet to talk about this program and walk what we're trying to do. I'm trying all different tacks to get that done, and we are, so that's a big thing we're working on. So I hope to report something back soon that we will have something. I'm trying on that one. Another thing, and I'll talk about a small thing, because I think we need to do the big things and the small things well. I think that if we do some of the small things well and save a little bit of money, that adds up. You may have noticed that this year we combined the warrant for the election and for the town meeting. Okay, kind of a small thing. It's actually something that Sherry and Rose Morgan came up with in talking to better practices, and because of that, we saved about $1,844 in publication fees. Small thing, people would say, but we keep doing a few of those small things, and we have more for programs like this. So I want to give Sherry and Rose kudos, and we'll be back with some more of those small things that we're doing, kind of changing how we do things up here. So that's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Last time I said nothing, but today I have something to say.
I mean, great.
I read in the paper last week that the school, they want a facility to oversee transportation as well as facilities, okay? Now, that person's supposed to be responsible for safe and efficient operation of facilities, and they should be doing this now. That's their job now. Why do we have to have, this is how I feel very strongly about this. This is the job that they're supposed to be doing, but they want a facilities director to do exactly what they should be doing now. And they say they want them to lead all custodial services. They should be doing that now. What are we doing here? Hiring somebody to do something that they've already been doing, and this person either has to have a bachelor's degree or a equivalent experience? They haven't done one single thing to make any improvements since I've been talking about this, for the past year at these schools. They've done nothing about facilities. They've done nothing about cleaning. Job, yet they're looking to get a new job for a facilities director, and they want the salary to be $20,000 more than what they're paying somebody now, $85,000. Increase it by $20,000. Before we do anything like that, I know we don't have the say, I presume, about this, but I hope the people in this town, and I hope the school understands that what they're asking us, it just doesn't make any sense. Show us what you can do first before you want to go hiring someone to do the same job that they're supposed to be doing for $20,000 more a year. I get exasperated with this.
Right. No, I know you do. I'd probably be cautious about saying they haven't done anything. I don't know what they have or haven't done, but
Well,
I'd
go up
hope
to the
they've
high
done
school,
something.
they haven't done anything. The curtains
Yeah.
are dirty, the window, I
That's
don't
right,
mind
that's right.
telling you.
Your
The
personal
facilities are
experience, right?
dirty. There's nothing, they're all torn. No, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Okay, tomorrow is Election Day. I think voting is a right and a privilege, and I urge everyone that's out and about tomorrow to get to the polling area and cast a vote for the candidate of his or her choice. Precincts 1 and 7 vote at the Masonic Temple, 2 and 3 are at the Crystal Community Club, 4 is at Most Blessed Sacrament, 5 and 6 are at the West Side Social Club, and the polls are open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. So, get out and vote. I know it's going to be a very small turnout, I believe it is, but at least be part of the solution and don't just sit home and complain. I would also like to mention that while you're out voting, that you might swing by the food pantry and leave some donations for those that are less fortunate. That's very important to me. I'd like to congratulate Pat Glynn, who ran the marathon in 3 hours and 36 minutes. I believe it was your best time, wasn't it? He can't speak, he's exhausted. He's just nodding. I would also like to congratulate Town Administrator Mayo on the birth of his first grandchild, a grandson, Stephen
Name's Stephen.
Mayo.
Stephen Michael.
Stephen
How'd you come up
Michael
with that name?
Mayo.
I don't
I
know.
know.
I had nothing to do with it.
And also to wish him a belated happy birthday, which was yesterday. And to remind everybody that town meeting is Monday, May 4th, beginning at, I believe, 7 o'clock at the new Galvin Auditorium. So come. There's several things that will be discussed that evening and probably continued until the following Thursday and perhaps even until the 11th. And that is why we will be meeting probably on the 13th.
yeah.
It's a big situation this year, and so vote and go to town meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
I already congratulated Pat for his excellent time. I've already extended my birthday wishes to Papa Mayo. For those who had the opportunity to come to the Blossoms event over the weekend, thank you very much. It was a fabulous evening. Kudos to the chairwoman and the entire committee for putting on such a well-run event this year. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Great. Patrick.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but since Phyllis brought it up, I think that the way Dr. Zreich has approached this was to really dig in and get all the information he could get. And I think what Mr. Tarbell presented to the committee several months ago was a pretty book and revealing report. And at that time I spoke and I said I think it was unacceptable, and I hope and I believe that Dr. Zreich is heading in the right direction, and I believe that the people who are responsible for doing certain tasks today should and will be held accountable in some form or fashion. I don't know what that means, whether it's training, whether it's however he plans to go about it. I would agree with Phyllis. I think before we go ahead and just hire someone to step in and do a job that somebody else could and should be doing today, maybe putting the cart before the horse. But I have faith in Dr. Zreich. I think he's approaching things the right way, and I hope that this process, holds true to form with his method.
Thank you, Pat.
I am all set
Yeah?
tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just, not to pile on too much, but Phyllis, you make good points about the conditions of the schools, and as Pat said, the history of things that have and haven't occurred there. But for me, I think I don't know if we owe it to anybody, but I suggest we give Dr. Zreich and his administration an opportunity to take the corrective action. What you're looking at is a corrective action that they've decided, and let's give them a shot at rolling it out before we vilify. That might actually be their response to the problem you want fixed. And I'd like to give them a shot. Your points are accurate, but I bet they would agree with you that the history of maintenance and the issues has not been a good one. So anyway, I guess before we jump all over Dr. Zreich and his plans, let's take a good look at them. I give him the benefit of the doubt. We've spent a lot of time and effort in making sure we brought a good person in to lead. And when you hire a leader, I think you let them go and you let them lead. If after a few years or we find out there's a problem or it didn't go right, people make changes however they need to bring them about. But in the meantime, I tend to support what they're doing on the school side. The results have been there. They're doing a great job, and I'd like to give them a chance to solve the problem before we throw rocks at what they're up to. So, but your points about the history over there are well taken. So,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Glenn, second by Betsy. Everybody would like to go home. Say
Good luck
aye.
tomorrow.
Aye. Good
Yeah,
luck tomorrow.
congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.